Hey everybody, my name is Velma and I've been working with nonprofits in tech for the last 14 years, so I'm really happy to be here today. We're thrilled to speak with you about Tableau CRM, which provides complete analytics built into Salesforce to visualize any information across your organization. Before I begin, I just want to give a quick reminder that we are a public company and that customers should base their purchasing decisions on products and services that are currently available. I'd like to thank you for being a part of the community. We're here to listen, help, and support however we can in what we know is an uncertain time. We value you as a member of our Trailblazer community, and we want to work together to help solve the pressing challenges in today's environment. Let's get started. I want to explain what we mean when we say Salesforce. Salesforce is a set of cloud-based solutions built on top of a single platform that you can run your entire nonprofit off of. We're the world's #1 CRM, and the reason why is because our solutions are supporter and client-centric. We believe that everything should be centered around the constituent. That way, your programs, fundraising, service, marketing, custom apps, analytics, everything you do is centered around the client's needs. You have a single source of truth with a unified profile across all of your client touchpoints. Today, we're focusing on analytics as a vital ingredient, insights into your constituent and customer behavior, letting you drive your mission forward. And by coming together with Tableau, we've assembled the world's leading analytics solution. Whether you need the ability to deeply explore and share data across your entire nonprofit or better productivity inside your CRM for fundraising, programs, or services. What you're seeing here is the Salesforce Customer 360, a completely digital-first platform to meet the needs of the digital imperative. These tools are considered to be best in class for many reasons. There's a 99% uptime in our products, and you can always see the status by going to trust.sf.com. 3 updates per year. We focus on this so that you can focus on your mission and you don't have to worry about maintenance. Our customers want flexibility and innovation. Salesforce invests $2 billion a year on R&D. You reap the benefit of that at a significant discount because you are a nonprofit. These are not watered down products. These are built for you on top of the same platform that runs Unilever, Adidas, AT&T, and financial institutions. Scalability. We grow as you grow. All you need to do is add licenses or add a cloud. Open API. You can connect to any third-party system. We have what we call the App Exchange. This is a catalog of thousands of third-party apps that integrate directly into your Salesforce instance. Think of your iPhone. It's a database, and you use apps that fit your lifestyle and your goals. If you need to add or change, you just replace an app. We've built core technologies like mobile, AI, workflow, app builder, communities, voice, and the highest levels of security into every app on the platform so that you can leverage the newest technologies quickly. All right, now you guys have a solid foundation. Let's jump in. I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to my colleague, Jeremy.
Thanks, Velma. Hi, my name is Jeremy Schmerling, and I'm an account executive here at Tableau. So I will jump right in and provide a high-level overview before we jump into a demo. So to start, the use of analytics is really growing exponentially, with more and more organizations trying to scale analytics across the enterprise. However, according to McKinsey, 92% of organizations are failing to scale analytics successfully. That's why organizations are coming to Tableau, so they can be part of the 8%, separating themselves from the rest. Time and time again, we hear from customers how they love using Tableau because it brings their data to life. It's visual, it's easy to use, and it's powerful. And it's an integrated platform where everything works together with security and governance built in. But it's an end-to-end for all of your analytics needs. You can deploy it enterprise-wide so it can scale to all of your use cases. Now, when we talk about the Tableau Analytics platform, we're also talking about an end-to-end integrated platform that can solve any of your use cases. It enables choice and flexibility of where to deploy on-premise or in the public cloud, or in our fully managed SaaS offering. It gives you choice in the data that you connect to. We can support more than 85 different data sources out of the box, and that's whether the data is on-premise or in the cloud. And we also provide powerful data management capabilities, governance, compliance capabilities built in. And of course, all of this supports powerful, simple, and intuitive analytics that anybody can use. You can consume on your desktop, in the browser, or on your mobile device. You can also embed it on top of your favorite applications like Salesforce or a portal. And everything has powerful APIs, security, and extensibility to enable you to get the right analytics to the right people anywhere in your organization. Now, one of the things that fuels Tableau, just like it fuels Salesforce, is innovation. Innovation is at the heart of everything we do. In fact, every single quarter we deliver a new update of Tableau based on the requests we receive from our customers. Tableau is most flexible analytics platform on the market. Our commitment to flexibility and choice not only allows you to leverage your existing technology investments, but it also ensures that you can rely on Tableau as the constant while your data environment might shift or grow as your organization is going through changes. Tableau, essentially, it fits with what you've got. Customers have obviously already made technology decisions for the organization, and they want to leverage and extend those investments. That means integrating Tableau into their existing environments so they can amplify the impact that their other technologies are already having. This is one of our top differentiators. Whether it's Linux, Windows, in the cloud, on-prem, multiple data connectors, and enterprise security protocols, we are the most flexible platform on the market. You can connect to your data easily, either files, databases, cloud-based data, or other application data. No need to move your data. And you can choose to query that data live or by extract, depending on its nature, usage, and how you want to optimize performance of your environment. Once Tableau is integrated into your environment, we're seeing customers starting to build on top of it. With innovations like extensions, we are giving our customers more ways to customize, automate, and embed Tableau for their organizations. And because Tableau gives you so much flexibility, it also allows you to leverage the investments in technology you've already made. But it also ensures that you can rely on Tableau as a constant even while your data environment continues to shift. A new version of Tableau with more capabilities to connect to and clean your data. New capabilities to see data in new ways, to share it more broadly. More enterprise capabilities to give you governance, the security that you need to deliver analytics at scale with confidence. If you think to last year alone in 2019, we delivered 4 new versions of Tableau and more than 200 new capabilities to the platform. We are innovating on your behalf, and you fuel our innovation. We continue to accelerate that even more to make you more successful. And all of this enables you to have analytics that people love to use. And now to help bring this to life, I am going to pass things over to Lily Asefi.
Thanks, Jeremy. So hello, everyone. My name is Lily Asefi, and I'm a solutions engineer here at Tableau. I'm really excited to be here today to talk a bit about how Tableau and Tableau CRM together can bring powerful analytics to the world of nonprofits. Now, I want to make sure we level set on what the different tools are that comprise the Tableau product suite before we head into them today. So beginning with the left here, Tableau Desktop. Tableau Desktop is Tableau's flagship application that'll live locally on your computer. This is where you're going to get connected to different databases and data sources and actually build out the visualizations themselves. Moving to the right with Tableau Prep. Tableau Prep is a bit newer to Tableau's product suite, but this is actually going to be an application that'll live locally on your computer as well, similar to Tableau Desktop. Now, Tableau Prep is meant to be a visual way to prep and clean your data. So if that's something you're interested in, I highly recommend checking out some of the videos we have online around Tableau Prep, as we're not going to be able to get to that during today's webinar. Now, moving to the right with Tableau Server and Tableau Online, this is really where the collaboration part of Tableau comes into play, when you're publishing up different reports to these areas so that viewers and explorers and creators alike can collaborate on your data. So the only difference here is that Tableau Server is actually hosted by a specific company's internal IT team, whereas Tableau Online is fully hosted by Tableau and is our SaaS offering. Now, all the way to the right, I'm actually going to throw it over to Alex to talk a little bit about Tableau CRM after I'm done with my portion of today's webinar. But Tableau CRM is formerly known as Einstein Analytics. So to begin today, I'm going to start with Tableau Desktop. And I'm going to take on the role of an analyst at a World Health Organization that's really concerned with COVID-19. So more specifically, we're going to be looking at just COVID-19 data in America and different counties throughout America to see where the COVID hotspots are and if those counties have enough funding to combat the virus. Then from there, we're going to publish up that dashboard to our Tableau server and talk a little bit about how viewers and explorers can interact with those dashboards from there. So to begin, I'm just going to open up Tableau Desktop here. So here, Tableau Desktop, this is really the splash screen when you first open it up. You're going to see some recent dashboards that you've been building here in the middle, as well as some sample dashboards built by Tableau here at the bottom. You're also going to see some training and resources here on the right. Now, if we go all the way to the left, this is where we're going to see the different options for databases and data sources that we can connect to. It might be one of the servers or databases on this long list we have here. You could also build out a connection if you don't see it. You can also connect to flat files such as Excels, CSVs, etc. Now, something else you can do is connect to data that's already been published to your Tableau server. So let's say that somebody who knows your data really well has decided to go in and build a curated data source and actually publish it to the Tableau server so that other people that don't know that database as well, or maybe don't even have credentials, can actually go and straight to Tableau server and connect to it from there. Now, if I click on Tableau server here, it's going to give me the list of data sources I have on my server. And if I go all the way to the bottom, I will see my COVID-19 activity extract. So I'm just going to press connect. Now, the first thing Tableau will bring me to is the very first sheet. So to begin, I'll see all of the different fields I have in my data set here on the left. So I'm going to see what we refer to as blue pills or dimensions, and then our green pills or measures. Now, to begin, let's say I want to just make sure I'm filtering out this data so I'm only looking at the United States. What I'll do is I'll just quickly bring country shortening to my filter shelf, and I'll search for the United States. Press OK. All right, so now I can take out my report date, and let's say I want to look at the trend of COVID-19 positive cases as well as the death count over time. I can bring the report date out to my columns here. Now, Tableau automatically rolls up to the year, but if I right-click, I can decide that I want to look at more of a continuous timeline, which is taking that month, day, year into account. So now I can take my two measures, which are my positive cases and my number of deaths here, to get an overarching view of the trend of these two measures over time. So I'll just rename this sheet Weekly Trend. Now, if I open up a new sheet here, let's say I'm really interested in looking at a state-by-state breakdown of the positive cases, so I can understand which states I should be focusing on. The first thing I'll do is I will once again bring the country name out to the filter shelf and just make sure I'm filtering out only to the United States. Now I can bring my province state here under this hierarchy, and I'll just drag that to my rows. And then I'll see all of my states populate here, and then I'll take my positive cases and drag that out 2 columns. Now Tableau is aggregating all of the positive cases that we have in this data set for each state. I can go ahead and quickly sort with one click at the top and see that California looks like it's leading with the most positive cases so far. Now, let's say I want to understand how this data interacts with the death count and what the relationship is between positive cases and number of deaths. I can take that death count here and I can just pop it into color. So now I can see automatically that it looks like California is leading with positive cases, but New York is still leading with number of deaths. So the first thing I want to do is actually filter this down to the top 20 states. So I'll just drag province state name out to filters. I want to filter by top, field, and I want to do positive cases count. And then instead of 10, I want to look at 20. So now I know which 20 states I really need to hone in on to look at the funding for. So I'll just rename this sheet here. All right. Now, let's say I'd like to get a deeper look into this data set and look at specifically which counties are struggling the most of these top 20 states. I'm going to right click on this sheet and duplicate it so that way I can keep all of my filters. And then I'm going to go ahead and actually replace a couple things here. So the first thing I'll do is drag out county name and replace that with province state. So now we get a list of counties instead. And then I can head over here to the Show Me tab on the right. And Tableau is going to return a way that I can view this data that is most optimal. So it looks like it's telling me I can actually view this as a map. So if I click on that, Tableau will generate a map for me. And we can see there's a bunch of small dots here. So let's say there's actually a better way for me to visualize this, and that is with using a density chart. So this is looking a bit better. I can actually see the hotspots within certain states now. All right. Now the last thing we'll do is actually put this dashboard together with this button here. So I'm just going to have my dashboard fill the screen by fixing the size here. So the first thing I'm going to do is take out my bar chart. Now I have my bar chart here and I'm going to drag out my county map, put that to the right, and I'll also have my weekly trend here at the bottom. So just a couple of formatting things to get started. I can actually have this bar chart take up this entire view so that there's no white space. You can also drag it to the left a little to give my map and my trend line a little bit more room. Now to make this really user-friendly, I don't have to keep this bar chart name here at the top. I can actually change this to choose a state. So now I can actually enable my users to filter down through this data by clicking this button, Use as Filter. And so the first thing people will see when they come into this dashboard is to choose a different state so we can actually look at specific states and their hotspots. You can also have a dashboard title here to create an overarching title for this dashboard. COVID-19 county funding. So from here, I can actually make this map into a filter as well by clicking this button here. And so I can zoom into the county of Los Angeles, for example, and I can have that update my trend line. So if I move between different counties, you can see how that trend line differs. From here, what we would do is go ahead and publish this workbook up to Tableau server. To do that, we would go to the top, make sure we're signed in to the right server here, and then we can go ahead and publish the workbook clicking on this button here. So let's say I want to put this in my healthcare project, and I can just rename this COVID-19 County Funding and click Publish. Now from here, Tableau server is automatically going to bring up the page in which my dashboard has been published. So just to bring that up here. And now I can see my dashboard has successfully published to my Tableau server. Now, to switch roles a bit, I'm going to talk a little bit about how viewers and explorers and really end users can interact with the dashboard I've built. So if I go back to the home page here, let's say I am a vice president of fundraising at this World Health Organization, and I'm specifically tasked with looking at the United States and seeing if they have enough funding to tackle COVID-19. Now, if I go into the Explore page, I can see my healthcare project here, and I can also see the COVID-19 funding dashboard that one of my analysts has created for me. So automatically, I can see the state of California has been filtered out for me, which is great because I'm actually specifically interested in California. But if I wanted to look at other states, I could simply click out of this filter and look at the entire United States. So that's something that can be done with custom views, is creating a default view of whatever it is that you're most interested in looking at and filtering down to in this dashboard. A couple other things I can do is I can comment. So I can actually mention the team member that created this dashboard for me, and I can say, looks like LA has a problem. And I can actually filter down this dashboard to Los Angeles County and create a grab of the screen and post it there. Now, a couple other things I can do is I can create an alert. So just to filter back out of this data, let's say I'm specifically interested in the state of California, and I'd like to understand when positive cases reach above 100 million here. So I can click on the axis that I'm interested in tracking, go to alerts, create, and sign myself up for that alert. So looks like 100 million is my threshold. And click create. So a couple other things we can do is if I'm an explorer, I can go in and edit this dashboard myself. So let's say I work at this World Health Organization and I'm actually interested in a different continent entirely. I can go ahead and edit this and take out the filter for the United States and continue working on this dashboard right from the browser. And it'll look exactly like Tableau Desktop. I can also sign myself up for a subscription so that I can get this dashboard emailed to me in the form of an image or a PDF at a cadence of my choosing. And we can set that schedule here.
Now I'm going to go into Ask Data here at the top.
And let's say I have additional questions of this COVID-19 dataset, but I'm not quite sure how to use Tableau Desktop quite yet. I can use Tableau's natural language processing tool, Ask Data, to simply type in something like my positive case count by country. And this way I can get a more global, holistic view of the positive cases across more countries outside of just the United States. And I can also change the way I like to view this data as well. So thank you everyone, and now I'm going to throw it to Alex to talk a little bit about Tableau CRM.
In this demo, we're going to see how the fundraising performance template helps you to measure and evaluate your fundraising programs against a set of key performance indicators. Fundraising Performance Dashboard is designed to give nonprofits a precise picture of donor retention and attrition, donor gains and losses, donation amount gains and losses, and other key performance indicators. Its dashboard measures and compares fundraising efforts year over year so that you can develop strategies to improve your future fundraising efforts. And I think this quote attributed to Lord Kelvin says it well. If you cannot measure it, you cannot improve it. So what are the key metrics one needs to consider and measure consistently? To get an accurate picture of your fundraising effectiveness, it's not enough to just look at the amount of money raised or the number of donors each year. To understand what is really happening, it is necessary to look at both the fundraising gains and the fundraising losses from one year to the next. Then one can accurately compare and contrast growth in giving and attrition for your yearly numbers. Growth in giving from one year to the next is the net of gains minus losses. Gains in giving consist of gifts by new donors and recaptured lapsed donors, and increases in gift amounts by upgraded donors. Losses in giving consist of decreases in gift amounts but downgraded donors, and lost gifts from lapsed, new, and lapsed repeat donors. The net increase or decrease is the net of total gains minus total losses. Fundraising Performance Dashboard calculates all of this for you so you don't have to worry about all this math. With Fundraising Performance Analytics, fundraisers are empowered to make smarter decisions based on empirical data and standard set of KPIs. With insights gained from the tool, fundraisers can formulate strategies to maximize gains and minimize losses. Let's now jump into Fundraising Analytics Dashboard and explore its capabilities. Fundraising Performance Dashboard gives you a historical view into your fundraising efforts and allows you to compare and contrast your year-over-year performance. This will allow you to gain insights and take action as appropriate. The dashboard can display all of your historical data, but you can also limit how much data is displayed by choosing fiscal year from the drop down in the upper right of the dashboard. For example, if you don't have enough data for the current year, you may choose to end with the year 2019. The three main areas within the dashboard: donor KPI, giving KPI, and performance. Let's now take a look at each one in detail. We start with a high-level overview of donor stats such as total donors, growth percentage from previous year. We can also see the historical view from year 2016. Now we can see that we grew 3% over last year. And if I want to drill down into details, I can just simply open up a detail panel, and now I can see, for example, some key stats on the left. And these key metrics are things such as attrition rate, retention rate, participation rate, recapture rate, and donor churn. Now, retention of donors is one of the most effective strategies an organization should be focused on. Here we can see that donor retention rate is close to 32%, which means that donors that gave us in prior years have given to us again this year, 32 out of 100. So a question arises, is 30% retention rate a good rate or bad? Looking at the benchmark report from M&R, which reports on online giving, we see that industry average is actually 37%. Therefore, we can conclude that there is room for improvement since we're lower than the industry average. I should also add that external metrics can be brought into analytics so that you can compare against industry benchmarks. Donor churn is another key metric. It's current year's new and recaptured donors minus lost donors. The rate is percentage of the total current year donors. You would want to see this number increasing year over year. And you can see that we have increased a bit. Now let's focus on the middle section. Here we can see that we gained 61 donors, which is great, but that is only part of the picture, and that is why we have a chart that shows both new and recurring donors. We can see that while the new donors have been going down, recurring donors have gone up. Once again, this is positive in light that it is cheaper to maintain an existing donor than to gain a new one. We have recognized the importance of cultivating recurring donors, and looks like our efforts are paying off. In this shot, we can see that recurring donors line has increased steadily since 2017. Let's now look at giving details. Here we can see a number of average on the left, and on donation over time chart in the middle here shows us that average size of a gift has trended up over time. We're cultivating more major donors and investing in our major giving segment, and that is reflecting in our numbers. Looks like our increase in major gift officers has paid off and increasing the volume of major gifts, which tend to increase the average gift amounts. This is a good example of why it's important to have empirical data. Instead of guessing whether our strategies are working or not, we now have numbers to prove it. The chart on the right shows us how much giving is associated with each giving level. Clicking on the 5,000 and up segment, note that I can see that the average giving is around 24K, and we have gained over 165,000 in this segment over the last year. Also, the table below shows all the nations that are associated with this segment. And if I'm interested in getting even more details about this donor, I could see that, once again, I can bring up a quick action menu. I can either open up a record and review even more detail, or maybe I would just want to action my insights by creating a new task to invite this donor to our upcoming annual event. The key here is that I did not have to go to another system in order to action my insights. Analytics is integrated and is part of that business workflow. Lastly, let's take a look at performance details. Let's start with the section on the left. At the top, we see donor churn rate for the chosen year, and below we see a chart which shows that historical view of donor churn rate for each year we have data. The chart below shows trend lines for both attrition and retention rates. Here, ideally, we would want to see the attrition rate line going down and retention rate going up. Lastly, the two charts on the right show us gains and losses for the current year as well as historical view. The donor chart for the gains shows us how much was gained by each category: new, recaptured, and upgraded. The donor chart for the losses shows us how much was lost by each category: downgraded, lapsed new, and lapsed repeat. In summary, you can see how a single dashboard packs a lot of key metrics that would take hours, if not days, to consolidate. This can give you a lot of visibility into how you're doing and guide you on your strategies going forward. Brendan logs into Analytics mobile app on his phone and reviews goal progress dashboard. Here, you can quickly review important metrics for the chosen period. You can see his team goal attainment, goal remaining, and how much there is in the pipe coverage. This chart makes it easy to see historical trend compared to the goal. Now, Brendan sees that goal attainment is on the low side. While it's still on top of his mind, Brendan decides to send an email to the team that he would like to discuss this in a team meeting in the afternoon to see how they can improve results. Right from his phone, he can highlight on the chart goal remaining number, and include that with his email. This could also be done right within Chatter in Salesforce. This is a great example of actionable insights in the palm of your hand. This improves one, productivity, because you can do your analytics within the context of your everyday workflow. Now that Brendan is at his desk, he reviews the progress dashboard in more detail. We can see the pipeline chart by stage, top donations, and top fundraisers. Looks like there is a large gift from Keith Butler household. Now, because Tableau CRM is native right on the platform, Brendan can quickly action his insights by clicking on the drop down. Notice that we have various quick actions. I can post to Chatter. I can log a call if I was talking to Keith. What I'd like to do is actually create a new task. To follow up with our generous donor. Set the date. I'm going to do that next couple days and go ahead and save that. So in summary, we saw how Brendan was able to quickly review key fundraising metrics, gain valuable insight, and collaborate with his team members right from his phone. That's productivity in the palm of your hand. We also saw how Brendan was able to quickly action his insights right within his analytics dashboard. This short demo showed you a glimpse of fundraising analytics. There are 6 other dashboards within fundraising analytics template. This template gives you quick time to value to get started, and you can always extend it further to meet your needs. Now, you might ask, how do I get started with this? So the way you create these templates, let me just switch here, is that if you go and just create what is known as an app, notice that this comes with a number of different templates. The one we're interested in is in fundraising analytics. So you would just pick this template. And what this does, it walks you through a number of steps within the wizard, which allows you to tailor your dashboard and various charts to your specific environment. So you'll grab the data that's in your system, massage it, and present it in this graphical form. And that's really all that you need. So that's how you can quickly get started. Thank you.
Hey there, I'm Molly, a data scientist at Atrium. Thanks for taking the time today to learn more about Einstein discovery and Tableau. Our goal is to demonstrate how a healthcare nonprofit organization could better serve its constituents by using Einstein predictive insights embedded directly in a Tableau dashboard. We'll focus on insights around the propensity to have diabetes. Let's go over to our dashboard so we can take a look at this in practice. As a managing program officer for a healthcare nonprofit, I want to better understand our constituents' likelihood of diabetes so that I can organize support and interventions accordingly. Here we see our diabetes focus dashboard. Our top health factors of focus are BMI, glucose range, and age. We see these factors visualized in different ways in multiple lenses on the dashboard. Let's get the lay of the land for a moment by looking at the glucose range circle chart. This chart shows us groupings of glucose ranges by severity across the population at hand. The counts are demonstrated both by the segment size and the annotated numbers. If I click on a particular range, such as this normal one here, the lenses facet accordingly, showing us, for example, a changed average age of 30.62. Clicking out, I see the lenses return to reflect the entirety of the data. I can use the filter above to perform the same analysis. If we scroll down to the right-hand side, we see an Einstein discovery-derived propensity score. This score represents a likelihood to have diabetes. Below the score, we see the health factors contributing to it. If we click on a row of the detail chart, we will see the likelihood facet to reflect that individual's health history. Let's look at row 1 as an example. When we click on row 1, we see that this individual has a score of 81.5. We see that 2 of the contributing factors to this relatively high propensity for diabetes are that the individual is 50 years old and lands in a high glucose range. If we click into row 2, in contrast, we see the score lessen considerably based on the individual's glucose range and BMI. This ability to examine individual risk in relation to group patterns is important to me so that I can plan group meetings and support in a way that both resonates with constituents' characteristics, such as age group, and efficiently addresses their health concerns.